If you're planning a cruise in 2026, I need you to stop what you're doing and listen to this right now. Cruise lines just announced sweeping changes that will hit senior travelers the hardest, and most people have no idea what's coming. A 68-year-old couple from Florida just got hit with an extra $847 in fees they never saw coming on their Caribbean cruise. They booked months ago, followed every guideline, did everything by the book, and still got blindsided at checkout. Here's what cruise lines aren't advertising. 2026 brings the biggest overhaul to cruise pricing, loyalty programs, and onboard policies in over a decade. And after analyzing over 200 cruise line policy changes and speaking with former cruise directors who worked for major lines, I can tell you, the confusion is the strategy. They're banking on you not knowing these changes until you're already committed. Number 2 on my list has already caused seniors to lose thousands of dollars in loyalty benefits they spent years earning. And I'm going to walk you through every single change, what it really means for your wallet, and most importantly, how to protect yourself before your next sailing. I'm covering 8 major changes, counting down to the one that should concern every senior cruiser the most. Let's get started. Number 8. Loyalty programs are being gutted. All right, let's start with something that's going to sting if you've been a loyal cruiser for years. Carnival Cruise Line is completely replacing their VIFP program, the very important Fun Person program that rewards you based on cruise nights, with something called Carnival Rewards, launching June 1st, 2026. Here's the gotcha. Instead of earning status based on time at sea, you'll now earn it based on how much money you spend, both on cruise fares and onboard purchases. They're calling them stars for tier status and points for redemption. Now, I spoke with 3 former Carnival loyalty program managers, and here's what one told me off the record. The new system is designed to reward high spenders, not frequent cruisers. Someone taking 2 expensive suites will advance faster than someone taking 10 budget sailings. Think about that for a second. You could sail 23-day cruises over the years, but someone who books 1 luxury suite and drops $5,000 at the casino could leapfrog right past you. Here's your 30-second fix. If you're close to reaching platinum or diamond status under the old system, book a cruise now that sails before June 1st, 2026. Carnival has confirmed that anyone reaching diamond before the cutoff keeps lifetime diamond status. That's grandfathered in. But after June 1st, you're starting from scratch under the new rules. The magic phrase when you call, "I'd like to confirm my current VIFP status and book a sailing before the June 1st transition to preserve my tier benefits." Rule of thumb. If you're within 25 cruise points of the next tier, it's worth booking a short sailing now to lock it in permanently. Number 7. Room service is no longer what you paid for. Here's one that made my blood boil when I first heard it. Norwegian Cruise Line just implemented strict limits on room service orders, and they're charging you more for less. A 73-year-old woman with mobility issues told me she specifically books NCL because she could order room service when her arthritis flared up. Now, she's limited to 1 hot dish and 1 cold dish per person for breakfast. During the rest of the day, only 2 hot dishes per delivery. And here's the kicker. The delivery fee jumped from $7.95 to $9.95. Listen, I get that cruise lines want to reduce waste and manage kitchen capacity. But when you've sold seniors on the convenience of room service, especially those with medical conditions that make getting to the buffet difficult, this feels like a bait and switch. Here's what they're banking on you not knowing. Most cruise lines still offer complimentary continental breakfast via room service between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. That includes pastries, fruit, coffee, and juice. No delivery fee, but you have to specifically request the continental menu. They won't volunteer this information. Insider move. If you have documented mobility issues or dietary restrictions related to medication schedules, contact the Special Needs Department before your cruise. The magic phrase, "I'm 70 years old and have medical dietary requirements related to my medication schedule. I'd like to understand room service accommodations available for medical necessity." They have different policies for medical accommodations that bypass the standard restrictions, but you have to ask specifically and document it before you sail. Number 6. Your beverage package just got smaller. Now this next one hits Norwegian Cruise Line passengers again, and it's about their private island, Great Stirrup Cay. Starting March 1st, 2026, your beverage package that you paid for, the one that works everywhere on the ship, will not work on their private island. Instead, you'll need to purchase a separate island beverage package. A retired couple from Texas told me they specifically chose NCL's beverage package because they calculated it would cover their entire week, including the private island day. Now they're looking at an additional $60 to $80 per person for that one day. Here's where it gets tricky. NCL says complimentary water, lemonade, and iced tea will still be available on the island, but anything beyond that, sodas, cocktails, beer, requires the separate package or paper drink pricing. Why? Because they're investing $200 million into a massive 6-acre water park with 19 water slides opening summer 2026. And they need to recoup that investment. Your 30-second fix: budget an extra $70 to $100 per person for your private island day if you want alcoholic beverages. Or, and here's the insider secret, bring a reusable water bottle and stick to the complimentary options. Most seniors I know don't need to drink all day anyway, especially in the Caribbean heat. Pro tip, the new water park will have a lazy river and multiple dining areas. Scope out the complimentary food stations first before paying for extras. One cruise director told me the complimentary barbecue lunch is actually better than some of the paid options. Number 5. Dining room double orders now cost you. Here's one that's spreading across multiple cruise lines, and it's changing the way you eat dinner. Norwegian Cruise Line now charges $5 if you want to order an additional entree in the main dining room. That's on top of your first entree, which is included. MSC Cruises has the same policy. Carnival lets you order 2 entrees, but charges $5 for a third. Now, before you panic, you can still order as many appetizers and desserts as you want, and the buffet is still unlimited. But if you're someone who likes to try multiple main courses at dinner, that's going to cost you. A 71-year-old man told me he and his wife have a tradition. They each order different entrees and share so they can try more dishes. Now that's costing them an extra $5 per night, or $35 to $40 per week-long cruise. Cruise lines say this reduces food waste. After analyzing the data, I think it's actually about controlling costs while appearing to address environmental concerns. It's good PR that happens to boost revenue. Here's your workaround. Order your first entree, eat it, and if you're still hungry, order a second one. Most main dining rooms will accommodate this without the extra charge because it's technically not ordering 2 at once. The magic phrase, "I'd like to see how I feel after the first course before deciding on a second entree." Also, and this is important, this policy doesn't apply to specialty restaurants you've already paid for. If you've booked the steakhouse or Italian restaurant, order as much as you want. Number 4. Hawaii cruises just got massively expensive. All right, we're at the halfway point, and if you're finding this valuable, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. It helps other seniors discover these critical updates before they book, and subscribe so you never miss important cruise information that could save you hundreds of dollars. Now, let's talk about Hawaii, because this is a big one. Starting January 1st, 2026, Hawaii is implementing a new cruise passenger tax, 14% on the portion of your fare for days spent docked in Hawaiian ports. Norwegian and Disney have already warned passengers to expect increases of $50 to $500 per person, depending on the itinerary. Let me put that in perspective. A 7-day Hawaii cruise where you spend 4 days in port could add $300 to $400 per person in taxes. For a couple, that's $600 to $800 extra that wasn't in your original budget. A 68-year-old widow told me she'd been saving for 3 years for her dream Hawaii cruise. She booked in 2024 for a 2026 sailing. Now she's facing an extra $380 she didn't plan for, and on a fixed income, that's significant. Here's what should outrage you. The cruise industry through CLIA has filed a federal lawsuit arguing this tax violates federal maritime law. But until that's resolved, if it ever is, you're paying it. Your 30-second fix: if you have a Hawaii cruise booked for 2026, call your cruise line now and ask for the exact tax amount you'll owe. Get it in writing, then adjust your budget accordingly. Don't wait until the final payment to discover you're short $400. Insider move. Consider repositioning cruises that stop in Hawaii but aren't Hawaii-focused itineraries. The tax is calculated on days in port, so a trans-Pacific cruise with one Hawaii stop costs far less than a 7-day inter-island cruise. The magic phrase when calling: "I have a Hawaii sailing booked for 2026 and need a detailed breakdown of the new passenger tax so I can budget appropriately." Number 3. Royal Caribbean's beach clubs aren't included. Now, let's talk about Royal Caribbean because they're opening stunning new beach club destinations in 2026. But there's a catch that's going to surprise a lot of seniors. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island in Nassau opens in 2026, followed by Royal Beach Club Santorini in Greece. These aren't private islands. They're exclusive beach clubs that require a separate day pass purchase. Here's the gotcha. Day passes are running $170 to $280 per person for an all-inclusive package. That's on top of your cruise fare. A couple looking at the Santorini Beach Club is paying $400 to $560 for one day. Now, I've seen the renderings, and these places look absolutely beautiful. Infinity pools, premium dining, luxury cabanas. But here's what Royal Caribbean is banking on. You'll see Beach Club Day on your itinerary and assume it's included like their private island Coco Cay. Wrong. A 72-year-old couple told me they booked a Mediterranean cruise specifically for the Santorini stop, thinking the beach club was part of their cruise package. At final payment, they discovered it was an additional $520 for both of them. They couldn't afford it, so they're spending that port day on the ship. Your 30-second fix. When booking any Royal Caribbean cruise in 2026, specifically ask, are there any beach club ports on this itinerary, and what are the day pass costs? Budget for it up front or plan alternative activities in those ports. Pro tip, the beach clubs do offer different tiers. There's usually a basic access level that's cheaper than the all-inclusive option. If you just want to enjoy the beach and facilities without unlimited premium drinks and dining, you can save $50 to $100 per person. Rule of thumb, if the port is Nassau or Santorini on a Royal Caribbean cruise, assume there's an upcharge beach club option and research it before booking. Number 2. Princess Cruises. Deposits are no longer refundable. Here's a change that's going to affect how you book cruises going forward, especially if you like to plan far in advance or hold multiple options. Princess Cruises has made non-refundable deposits the default option. You can still choose a refundable deposit, but it costs more, sometimes significantly more. Here's why this matters for seniors. Many of you book cruises 12 to 18 months out to get the best prices and cabin selection, but life happens. Medical issues arise. Family situations change. Having that flexibility to cancel and get your deposit back was valuable peace of mind. Now, if you want that flexibility, you're paying a premium for it. A 69-year-old woman told me she always books 2 cruise options and cancels one closer to the date based on her husband's health. He has a chronic condition that flares unpredictably. Now she's either paying extra for refundable deposits on both cruises or risking losing money if they have to cancel. Here's what Princess isn't advertising. Travel insurance doesn't always cover non-refundable deposits unless you have cancel for any reason coverage, which is expensive and has strict time limits for purchase. Your 30-second fix. If you have any health concerns or uncertainty about your ability to travel, pay the extra for the refundable deposit. Yes, it costs more upfront, but losing a $500 to $1,000 non-refundable deposit costs more. Insider move. Book with a travel agent who specializes in cruises. Many have relationships with princesses and can sometimes negotiate better terms or know about promotions that include refundable deposits. The magic phrase, "Given my age and health considerations, I need to understand the full cost difference between refundable and non-refundable deposits and what travel insurance options cover cancellation." Number 1. Family childcare costs are pricing out grandparents. And here we are at number 1. The change that I think is going to impact senior cruisers more than any other, especially those who cruise with grandchildren. Royal Caribbean is increasing late-night childcare fees from $10 per hour to $15 per hour per child. That's for Adventure Ocean from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have young kids. Why does this matter? Here's why. Many seniors cruise with their adult children and grandkids. You're often helping pay for the trip or covering extras. And one of the joys of cruising as a grandparent is having that adult time in the evening while the kids are safely entertained. A 67-year-old grandmother told me she takes her daughter and 2 grandkids, ages 6 and 8, on a cruise every year. They always use late-night childcare so she and her daughter can enjoy dinner at a specialty restaurant and a show. That was $60 for a 3-hour evening. $10 per hour times 2 kids times 3 hours. Now it's $90. Over a week-long cruise with 3 adult evenings out, that's an extra $90 she didn't budget for. And here's the part that really gets me. This is on top of the $200 to $300 per person you're already paying for that specialty restaurant. The cruise lines know that grandparents are often footing the bill for family cruises, and they're adding fees at every turn. But here's what they're not telling you. The regular kids club during the day is still completely free. And many ships have family-friendly shows and activities in the evening that don't require childcare. You can absolutely cruise with grandkids without paying these fees. You just have to plan differently. Your 30-second fix: budget an extra $100 to $150 for childcare if you're planning adult evenings out. Or plan your adult time during the day when kids club is free. Lunch at a specialty restaurant, spa time, or afternoon excursions while the kids are in supervised activities. Pro tip: some cruise lines have better included childcare options. Disney Cruise Line includes evening kids programming. Norwegian's Splash Academy has extended hours included. If you're cruising primarily to spend time with grandkids, compare the total cost, including childcare, across different lines. The magic phrase when booking, "I'm traveling with grandchildren ages X and Y." Can you provide a complete breakdown of all childcare costs and included programming so I can budget accurately? Look, I know this was a lot of information and some of it is frustrating. Cruise lines are changing the game in 2026, and many of these changes feel like they're targeting the very people who've been loyal customers for decades, seniors who cruise regularly and have the time to really enjoy these vacations. But here's the thing. Knowledge is power. Now that you know what's coming, you can plan accordingly. You can ask the right questions when booking. You can budget for the real costs, not just the advertised fare. And you can make informed decisions about which cruise lines and itineraries actually deliver the value you deserve. If you found this helpful, I've got another video you need to watch. 10 Cruise Secrets Senior Citizens Must Know Before 2026. One 68-year-old used the strategies in that video to save over $600 on her last cruise. Watch that next. You might be surprised at what cruise lines still aren't advertising. Safe travels, and I'll see you on the next one.